Okay, I want to make a quick little disclaimer / note on why I'm making this video. So if you're new and you probably don't care why I'm making this video, skip to this time code and that's where I'll talk about everything. For those of you who are still here and are probably new, hi, I'm Rocket Man Fran. I make videos about Soldier, because he's my main. I usually don't like to make negative videos because that's not really the kind of stuff I like to do. So don't expect me to make another video like this anytime soon unless I have to. If you want to see more of the positive stuff, here's a playlist of all the Soldier vids, right here. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about why I'm making this video. I definitely have not been having fun with the game anymore. Well, at least not as much as I used to. And it's no surprise a lot in the community feel the exact same way. I actually was about to cancel this video thanks to Fix TF2, which I myself took part in. I was expecting Valve to do something, and by the time I'm recording this, they did. Kinda. A huge number of bots have finally been banned, which is awesome. But to no surprise, they came back. And I feel the exact same way. Hurt, disappointed, and not having fun. So I want to get something off my chest. But not just with TF2, because the game isn't the only problem. Of course, this video is about TF2 YouTube. And what's TF2 YouTube without the platform itself? So, this is the problem with TF2 YouTube. So by the time I'm recording this video, the bots have disappeared once again. And the summer update dropped. Sweet! When I kept getting into a game, not a single bot has joined in. So it's safe to say, TF2 is back! Well, kinda. More so, it's a start. So Valve finally listened to us after the Fix TF2 petition was trending. And a massive amount of cheaters and bots were getting banned. So yeah, it's a start. Now, here's my question, Valve. What took you so long? We have been non-stop asking you for years to fix this damn game. And what did we get this whole time? That's right. Complete radio silence until 2024. Remember, cheaters were a thing since the game came out. But it didn't get worse until 2019/2020 where it became pretty much unplayable. So how did us TF2 YouTubers take it in the meantime? Some of us took it differently. Some of us just quit YouTube and the game altogether. Some of us just moved on to other games and have been doing really well with it actually. And then some of us just decided to stick around. Sure, you can argue that people left the game because of the bot crisis. In fact, that's understandable. But they left way before the bot crisis got worse. Some left the game when Meet Your Match, aka one of TF2's worst updates ever, got released. I mean, can you blame them? That update pretty much changed TF2 forever. RIP Quickplay. But regardless, people quit TF2. But it's not the game's fault. No. This beautiful, amazing little game did nothing wrong. So, it's not the game's fault. It's Valve's fault. How dare you, Valve? How dare you make this game worse by making one of the most rushed updates ever, and then all you did to make up for it was to give it one last update and then run away. Only for the bots to seize it and destroy it over the years while you did nothing. Sorry, lost my track of thought there. I'll deal with you later, mister. But anyway, let's continue talking about YouTubers. It's pretty cool to see these guys come back after not uploading for a while. Then disappear again sometimes, but it's no problem. These YouTubers make their choice to leave the game. And you know what I gotta say to that? I say, good on you, pal. If you ever want to come back, we'll be open arms, happy to see you return. Go enjoy the time for yourself. You deserve it, and you've earned my respect. Now, majority of these YouTubers have done the right way to do it. And there's some YouTubers who have done the worst way to do it. Okay, now once again, If you want to quit the game because it's not fun anymore, and maybe because you don't like how the community gets sometimes, then of course I understand that. Go play another game that's more fun. However, if you're gonna be an ass about it, cuss out your fans, saying that they don't care about you or the other non-TF2 videos you put out, just because they like the TF2 stuff more, and you're mad at them even though they didn't leave any hate comments about your other vids, then you're a dick, and I think the way you went out is completely wrong. Does it stink that people see you as a TF2 YouTuber and don't want to watch your other stuff? Yeah, I can see that. But at the end of the day, what good is cussing out your fans gonna do? Clearly they cared about you because they're subbed to you, so claiming that they never did is a lie. They're just not interested in the other stuff, and that's fine. You can't force them to watch something they don't want to watch. Sure, some might be in the wrong for trying to force you to play the one game all the time, meaning they're the assholes, and it would be hard for you to stay motivated to make videos on other things. But they don't control you, and you're not any better than them by cussing them out because that one person thinks they can control you. Because your fanbase gets the wrong idea that you hate everyone, even the ones who truly supported you. And you definitely don't want to be remembered like that. So my advice to any TF2bers who want to branch out is to just be calm. Don't let the bad ones get to you, even if it can be hard sometimes. I promise, as long as you're respectful to everybody, whatever content you want to do in the future, people will support. Maybe not everyone, but you'll get a good audience as long as you're not an asshole. So good luck to anyone who plans to be this way. I wish nothing but the best. Oh no you don't, mister! You come back to us when we need you the most. The decency you can do is stay and hear what you did to us. Better not run, you coward. So I already mentioned what Valve did, having us wait so many years for this game to get the bot issue fixed. But that's not my only issue with Valve. In fact, I got a big list on what I want to say to this bastard of a company and what they did to us. So listen up. It's no secret that the last major update that Valve actually worked on was Jungle Inferno, which was released all the way back in 2017. That is 7 whole ass years ago. As I mentioned before, this sort of encouraged TF2bers to leave the game, which sucks because there were too many good ones. So if your favorite person quits the game, you know who to blame. But what else did this hellhole of a company do to our favorite game, other than not giving it an update for a long time and letting the bots infest it for so long? Well, that's it really. I can't really think of anything awful they did other than muting free-to-plays, which they still have yet to fix. Still, let me explain why this hurt the game way too much. Casual got way too chaotic for us who wanted to play, so all we had were community servers. Obviously, it didn't feel the same, but no worries. A couple years later, I repeat, a couple years later, the bots are finally gone. After so many attempts to try and get rid of them, they listened to us. Well, at least we can play the game in peace now, right? Yeah. But the thing is, what now? The only new content we're getting is just community seasonal updates and game modes. Sure, better than nothing. But as I stated before, it really doesn't feel the same. Hell, the voice actors are finally active again, but they can't participate in these community updates because these aren't official Valve updates. And I don't think they're allowed to voice their roles for anything new, unless Valve is the one making the content. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but that's just what I think. It's funny how this is the case with what Valve is doing, because I keep hearing everyone say, I don't care if Valve updates this game ever again, I just want the bots to be gone. But like, do you really mean that? Yeah, of course it's awesome the game is finally getting better with the bot situation not being nearly as bad as before. And here we are, back to the post-Jungle Inferno pre-2020 situation, where we want new stuff from the game. And no, not seasonal updates or new community game modes. I'm talking about a real major themed update made by Valve. Now, I don't want this to sound like me being ungrateful and finding a reason to complain. Again, I'm happy the bots are gone. For the most part, at least. But this could have been something that prevented a lot of folks from getting burned out from the game if this decision was made sooner. On top of that, I'm also concerned about what not having an official major update for another couple of years can do. We just play the same maps over and over again. And then what kind of video are we gonna make next with no official content being added? I guess we can keep showing off funny mods. I know, we've been playing the same maps for 7 years, and here we are still playing. But I can kinda argue that we were complaining about that for a little while. Then when the bots came, that was our main priority. Now that we're back to where we started, who knows what another 7 years can do. But also, what'll happen if the bots take over the game again, and Valve goes back into hiding in the darkness? What are we gonna do then? Try to wake them up for another 4 years? Come on, we don't wanna do that. A little unrelated with TF2, but what really sucks is that the Saxies aren't a thing anymore. That really stinks because when I was starting to improve with SFM, that was the same year they stopped doing the Saxies. And that definitely made me really sad, because I wanted to participate so badly and show off my animation skills. Point being, Valve can do their own thing in the meantime. Nothing much we can really do. Really, all that we can do is just keep playing the game. At least things are back to normal now, and that's all that matters. But if only this decision was made way sooner, as well as giving us some sort of confirmation about a new update coming out or not, that would have been great. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. But on the bright side, the final comic is finally done. Yeah, it took him a little bit, but I will say it is a great finale to the story. So I'm just happy it's finally done. Anyway, pay super close attention here. This section is going to be just as important as TF2, because we're going to talk about Now, as I stated before, TF2 YouTube wouldn't be a thing without YouTube itself. So, YouTube has a major role to play here, just as Valve, with how they've been treating TF2. I think I made it clear that Valve is the one who caused burnout in players. Majority, anyway. And I mean crystal clear. So what does YouTube have to do with TF2 YouTubers quitting the game? It doesn't. You actually misunderstood me. My point is, YouTube has something to do with TF2bers quitting content creation. See, TF2 YouTube obviously peaked back in the late 2000s through early 2010s, when both the game and the platform were at their golden ages. I know I keep bringing up how the game was much better back then, but let's set the obvious aside. Let's talk about the YouTube experience back in those years. Ah yes, the simpler times of the internet. YouTube rewinds were actually good, PewDiePie was the #1 most sub channel before Mr. Beast took over, a lot of YouTubers were our childhood heroes before getting cancelled. Yeah. A lot of stuff has changed since then. Regardless, YouTube was such a magical place for a lot of us. And what's more fun than watching videos? Why, uploading them and making an audience of our own, of course. Now, my very first YouTube channel was created all the way back in 2014. A little past the golden age era, but I didn't think I was too late to the party. It's deleted now, by the way, so don't bother asking the name of it. Still, I never got to experience what it was like to upload on YouTube back when it was super good, but I can only imagine what it was like. You're a teenager still living with your parents, just making the most creative things that you want to share with the world. And the best thing is, you get to be yourself while doing so. You don't have to worry about strict policies, like swearing too much or have your video be flagged for sensitive content. Remember the 5-star system and the old annotations? I sure do. YouTube was so fun to watch and make content. And this is most likely what started TF2 YouTube. Showcase myself playing my favorite game on literally my favorite website in the world? That sounds like a win-win in my book. And of course, all the OGs want to start making TF2 videos. Whether that's gameplay, 3D animation, 2D animation, video essays, whatever. 2007 was literally the year
to start uploading TF2 content. Aside from the fact that was the year the game came out, as well as monetization becoming a thing, debatably, 2007 was the best year for gaming, as well as the best year to watch YouTube. I get to make videos about me having fun, as well as making some cash while doing so? Sign me up! 2007 through 2012 was such an epic year for YouTube. It had such a chill vibe that I don't think any other website could ever bring. Almost. Sadly, that golden age for YouTube is over. Things have changed, and not in a good way. We had the first CEO of YouTube, who was one of the creators, step down and hand it to another guy, who didn't do bad, but wasn't awesome either. Then that other guy stepped down too and gave it to that lady, who I mainly blame for making the platform entirely worse. And then that lady stepped down to give it to another guy, most likely due to her having to fight her battle with cancer, and eventually losing that battle. I just want to bring up that, regardless of the damage she's done to the platform, which I'll go over in a minute, she didn't deserve what happened to her. And I think it's sad people celebrated her death because of that. While yes, I do blame her for making the platform less fun for many creators, she was a human being just like the rest of us. And saying stuff like she deserved to die is just inhumane. And I'm incredibly disappointed by the number of people who made comments like that. Anyway, let's talk about what made YouTube worse over the years. Copyright has gotten very strict, which I'm not too mad about since that's literally the law. And it is important to get permission from song owners to use their songs. The real issue is false copyright strikes, meaning there have been channels that have gotten terminated who have done absolutely nothing wrong. And then YouTube introduced the COPPA program, which I know most of y'all know what that is, so I'm not gonna explain the origin. But what stinks is YouTube can choose which vids are made for kids and which aren't, even if you put not made for kids. Meaning, if your video is marked as made for kids, comments will be disabled, and you won't be able to read them. On top of that, chances are you can get in big trouble, even if YouTube is the one who marked the video.
Alright, buddy, time to go!
What? What did I do?
Well, this video you put out is not made for kids, and when we find out it's clearly not, due to parents complaining about traumatizing their child for life, we're punishing you for it.
But that's crazy! I didn't mark it as made for kids!
I know, we did!
What?
Yeah, see, we took a look at your adult animation with blood, drugs, and other stuff, but since it was a cartoon, we decided to mark it as made for kids. However, since we realized we made a mistake and this was clearly made for adults, we're gonna pin the blame on you and delete your channel, and we may or may not be giving you legal trouble as well. Anyway, let's go!
No! No! I just wanted to have a TV show of my own one day and share my art with the world!
Come on, you'll be out when we have a working copyright system.
Yeah, real fair, ain't it? COPPA is probably, in my opinion, the worst thing that has ever happened to YouTube. But I also am very upset about them disabling dislikes. I know, that's not nearly as bad as COPPA, and it may seem like it's not a big deal, since you can just get an extension, and bam, let's call it a day. But what about the YouTube app on your phone? What if you need to watch a tutorial while you're away from your computer? All you can see are likes, but a number of likes don't really determine if a video is good or not. The number of dislikes do though. Plus, we can see the comments as well, but some of those comments might be bots, or the negative comments might get deleted. If not, the comments section might be disabled entirely. I mean, I guess you can say that can determine if a video is good or not, but there are also some good videos that disable comments, so I'm not really sure what to think. I just think it's sad that without the dislike bar, we can't stop ourselves from wasting any time watching a bad video. Even if you do get the extension, chances are the video's not gonna get as many dislikes as it should, because nobody's gonna see it. So what's the point of disliking it anyway? I guarantee you, If YouTube didn't hide the dislike bar, the Minecraft movie trailer would have way more dislikes than it does now.
I am Steve.
You know, Jack Black was an interesting choice. What I brought up was just a portion of changes YouTube has done. And I could go on, just like how I felt about TF2. But let me wrap this section up by what I think is wrong with YouTube. YouTube just isn't YouTube anymore. What does that mean? Well, look at YouTube Shorts. Okay, cool. We can watch a video that's under 3 minutes long. But why does it need to exist? Notice how the video is in portrait mode. And only portrait mode. This is meant to be seen from a phone. Not only that, if you scroll down, we got the next short. You know what other social media platforms have these reels? Here's a hint. All of them. YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Wait, go back. Before that. Bingo. TikTok. One of the most popular social media platforms ever that most people thought was going to fail due to it being cringe when it first started. And then Mr. Beast advertised it and people wanted to download it for the funnies. Well, that's one of the reasons at least. Until they realized, holy crap, this is actually fun. So TikTok blew up around the pandemic time, and then literally every social media platform is now trying to copy it by having reels. So alongside with a lot of other platforms, YouTube is literally trying to copy TikTok. Now, I wouldn't say I hate YouTube Shorts. It's just another TikTok if YouTubers want to make short videos. As a matter of fact, I think there's a lot of YouTube Shorts that I think are very entertaining. But YouTube literally isn't YouTube anymore, because now it just feels like TikTok 2.0, but with some additional long videos. And I also want to bring up that people just make a YouTube channel to sell a product, which is okay, but I see them everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Where's the love? I can also bring up how this website is just flat out unusable, with the crazy amount of ads that last about a minute and a half. And the worst part is, you can't even skip it. Hell, you can play games on YouTube now. Like what? When did YouTube become a video game console? Okay, to be fair, these games are actually fun. And the only reason I don't play it on my phone is because I can play on YouTube without getting ads, surprisingly. Though, that could change in the future because, again, this is current YouTube we're talking about. But YouTube just isn't the same anymore. And it's been that way for a while now. So that's a reason why TF2 YouTubers quit. TF2 isn't the only problem, but YouTube is too. That's why the YouTubers we used to grow up with leave the platform. Because they hate the recent changes. Just like how players feel about current TF2. And it honestly breaks my heart that it's come to this. So, I guess the next couple of years will show us what's to come next. But the question is, are y'all ready for it? I hope so. Everything that I stated in this video is completely obvious about how both of these things are currently. And maybe some of you guys might disagree with me about some stuff that I said, but that's fine. I just didn't want this to be another current state of TF2 video, since most of those videos showcase Valve not updating the game, and nothing more than that. I want to tell something different here, because I don't think a lot of those videos bring up the YouTube side of things. And I'd say YouTube is just as much to blame as Valve. I know you guys keep hearing these YouTubers say, I didn't want to make this video. But I really didn't. I hate the fact that I felt like I had to make this, since I am in love with both of these things. But over the years, it's gotten worse, and I just couldn't hide my emotions anymore, and just get it off my chest. I know a lot of content creators feel this way. Why should I continue to play a dying game on a dying platform? This is such a lose-lose. Well, if you really think that way, I think you're wrong. TF2 and YouTube are not dying in the slightest. For TF2, we still have community stuff being made because Valve doesn't care to do anything anymore. And YouTube, come on, we use this website almost every single day, so don't even say anything. I never implied that these two were dying, they're just getting worse. Still fun to be on and everything, but not as fun as it once was. TF2 and YouTube felt like a chill place to me, and these two things were just very fun. I mean, I would say YouTube is still more fun to me, since making content is still enjoyable, and I don't think I would get burnt out from doing that anytime soon. TF2 on the other hand, I'm very burnt out from the game. And I didn't even play Scream Fortress or Smithsmiths, since it felt like playing the same thing every single year. And I'm tired of it. I haven't even played the game in months. I just opened it to take screenshots and get small footage, and that was it. I just can't force myself to play TF2 all the time, because if I do, I will hate it. And I can't hate this game, after everything it's done for me. I love it too much to be mad at it or hate it. I had so much faith that this game would get better, but aside from the bots being gone for now, I really don't see it getting better, and I'm just really heartbroken. So, I can't say that I'm done with TF2, but I am taking a big break from it to avoid wanting to never touch it ever again. So, I guess I'll just see where the road takes me. All I can say is, TF2 YouTube has problems, and those problems need to be fixed if content creators want to come back. But remember, we're people too, and life just happens. So, I guess all I can ask is I hope you could respect our decision. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. I'm happy that this video was entertaining enough for y'all to make it through, and that you guys are still willing to listen, even if what I said wasn't easy to hear. So, thank you to everyone. Good night, good morning, or whatever time it is for y'all. And I hope to have fun with y'all again. Take care, my friends. See you next time!